My name's Esther Nelson, and I'm a graduate assistant in the Dar College of Agriculture. And today we are out here and we're going to talk about the use of landscape fabric. So one of the great things about laying landscape fabric is there isn't a lot of tools that are needed, and they're pretty basic. First of all, you'll probably need a shovel, and that's just for site preparation. Not always, but it's good to have a hammer to hammer in the pins that will keep the landscape fabric in place. And then it would also be helpful to have a utility knife to be able to cut into the landscape fabric if you plan to plant within it after you have laid it. Once you've decided where you want your bed to be, if it's not been used as a bed before, it is best to go ahead and remove the top layer where you have your grass and your seed, and you can just get your shovel in there, pick it off, and I typically just hit it like this and get as much of the soil off, and then I would just compost or get rid of this. So what I would typically do is lay my fabric out here, and I get my pins, and I would go ahead and pin down my corners to keep my fabric still for when I unroll it. You want to make sure you do both sides. Unroll it however long you decide you want your bed to be. So once I have decided where I'm going to end my bed, I will go ahead and pin it down before I cut it. Then you would come in with your scissors or your utility knife and just do a nice cut across like so. I would say every foot and a half, place a pin. Typically you would put some type of mulch or rock on top of it afterwards, but if you want to plant in your fabric, you can. I could cut a small X, and you don't want it to be real big because weeds will find any place they can to come through. They're really good at that. Sometimes you can also come in and you can do a circle. The purpose of your weed barrier, once you get it down, is suppression of weeds. Some of the other benefits, though, that the weed barrier does do is it does keep the soil warmer in the winter, and it keeps it cooler in the summer. And then again, because of the ability for water to penetrate through the weed barrier, it also helps keep moisture in, which is very essential for plant growth, especially in the summertime. You can really cut down on the maintenance of weed pulling, hoeing, and that type of thing when you're dealing with weeds in your garden.